I'm going to preview the number 8 Baylor versus number 16 Arkansas men's basketball game, which will be played on November 9th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on espnu. The game will be in American Airlines Arena in Dallas, so it's a neutral site game, folks, and not like a home game for either team. And obviously, Arkansas is coming off a win last night, 76-60 against Lipscomb. And I'll mention a few things when I get to the preview of like what players to keep an eye on and everything. And obviously, Baylor's coming off of a really bad loss to Gonzaga. Not like ranked losing to unranked, but the margin was so bad. 38 points. And I really do think the team has worked on a lot of stuff between Monday to this game, and I couldn't preview this game prior to yesterday because Arkansas just literally played last night. So I will mention this. Arkansas does have a lot of new faces. Obviously, with the new head coach and John Calipari from Kentucky, it's bound to happen. So these are just last year's stats in the description below, so y'all can see enough. And I'll put the roster too, because I'm not going to mention every single guy, by the way. And I even include like lower level transfers and then notable freshmen and transfers in general and players that did return. Obviously, John L. Davis, you should be familiar, like if you're a basketball junkie. He was at FAU last year and even all his career. A number 1, 6'4", 210-pound guard. That's a senior. And there's Jonas Adu, number 9, 6'11", 240-pound forward. As a senior. One thing to mention: he did not play in either scrimmage game, and he only played less than 10 minutes last night. He is coming off of an injury, so I don't know how many minutes he's really going to play. And also all this, so just want to make a heads up about that. And I do not know anything about other injury status potentials for Arkansas. And obviously, with John Calipari coming from Kentucky, he did bring some players from Kentucky, as you can tell in the description below. I mean, the first one is G.J. Wagner, number 21, 6'4", 195-pound guard. That's a sophomore. And the player that actually did come back from last year is Trayvon Brazile, number 4, 6'10", 230-pound forward as a junior. And there's Adu Thera, which he was at Kentucky himself, number 3, 6'8", 220-pound forward as a junior. And there's actually a 7'2", big 245-pound forward on their team. That's a sophomore. And Zvonimir, Zvonimir Ivisic, Ievisic. Apologize if I butchered that, y'all. And that's really the only player you need to know, because they're not going to play Lawson Blake. Just saying right now. They do have some really good freshmen, though, to say the least. And granted, they did play last game, but I did not mention them in last year's stats because they didn't have stats from last year in the college level. I'm just going to go mention all those freshmen as well as the notable lower level transfer, like Billy Richmond III, number 24, 6'5", 205-pound forward. Like he's a freshman. Carter Knox, number 11, 6'6", 220-pound forward. That's a freshman. Then there's Boogie Fland, number 2, 6'2", 275-pound guard. Aiden Kelly, number 14, 5'10", 170-pound guard. And there's Jaden Karuletwa, Kruletwa, number 0, 6'5", 180-pound guard. And there's that one low-level transfer that I'm going to mention is Melo Sanchez, number 8, 6'5", 185-pound guard as a junior. And granted, I did not get stats on that guy. I'm going to mention one thing for Baylor going into this game. I do not know if Langston Love is going to play. He did not play last game. He's as of Monday, he was day to day. And that's with an ankle. So, I'm just saying that right now. And supposedly maybe Giannis Jonga has got something. According to one website I looked, he didn't play. But you gotta have other guys step up. Both of those guys are not gonna play, or even one of those guys. So, one thing across the board for Baylor in this game, you've got to play a lot better in a lot of areas from last game, and hopefully you have learned through the film and practice. And it really was a road game against Gonzaga. Let's just be honest. It was 5 minutes away from their home arena, and they returned a lot of production. Arkansas doesn't. So this is a totally different animal. And one thing to note about Arkansas, they did not shoot the ball well from 3 last game. So that's another thing to keep in mind here. So the matchup is a little bit better, potentially, for Baylor than the other game. Though I know they do have a 7'2" big guy. I know. And he actually did score 12 points last game, but that's against Lipscomb. And all this. So just to let y'all know about that and everything. We have to pick ourselves off the mat and take all the frustration from last game and bring it to this game and play a whole lot better. Point blank. You got to out-hustle Arkansas. You got to get them in foul trouble while trying to limit your foul trouble. And you got to play a lot tougher physically. And you got to have your senior leaders step up. And of course, it's not mentioning VJ Edgecombe. And VJ Edgecombe as a true freshman, I know. And Robert Wright off the bench. And he did really good last game. So whatever you did right last game, bring it this game. Obviously, defensively, I'm going to start there. We have to guard the ball better. Be more aggressive. Yes, I want to limit foul trouble, but you cannot play so soft and passive on defense. Gonzaga torched you. And you got to do a better job in rotations. On closeout. You got to do better on closeouts in general, but especially like rotations. And don't get beat to the middle. You want to limit their free throw attempts. You got to do a better job on the glass. You got to limit those second chance points, for those fast break points, points out turnovers. Force some turnovers on Arkansas. Obviously, I like to see some block shots in there too. I get it. And some charges if you can, but it's so difficult with the charge rule. And another thing I'm going to mention across the board, you got to ignore the officiating in this game as much as possible. They're going to make bad calls. You just got to be a more mentally tougher team. I mean, make plays to win at the end of the day. And we got to do a better job from the start to disrupt the rhythm of Arkansas. I mean, and I know Arkansas did not shoot the ball that good from 3. 4 for 19. And it was literally 4 guys that made 1 3 apiece. That's all it was. But it was like the first game. So I don't know. You're going to be able to count on them shooting that bad again. But make them uncomfortable and make every shot difficult for them. Of course, you want to limit the points in the paint as much as possible, and don't get beat from 3 so much, unlike last game. Now, offensively, it's simple. You got to take care of the ball. I mean, and you got to get some fast break points, because sometimes the best way to score is coming off turnovers, and get some points out turnovers than Arkansas. I'm just telling the truth. You got to do a better job on the offensive glass and gain some second chance points. You got to get some point get some paint, points in the paint. If your 3-point shot is not going down, you got to drive to the basket. And hopefully we will score a lot more points from the 3-point line. That was not normal what they shot from 3 when compared to those 2 practice games. I'm just telling the truth, because literally, Jalen Celestine made 2 out of 5 of those 2 out of 5 on 3s, but the rest of the team was 1 for 16. That's not a good recipe. And of course, you want to make your free throws count, and they did that, 14 for 20. Granted, you want to see that higher, and you got to shoot the ball a whole lot better from the field. I mean, that's just telling the truth. They got to get more assists and not trying to play so much ISO ball. I mean, and the turnovers actually only had 12 of them, which is not a terrible number when you look at in 40 minutes, but you don't want to turn the ball over so much. And another thing, you got to start a little bit faster offensively compared to last game. I mean, it's just telling the truth. Another thing is you got to have some bench points. You got to have more bench points than Arkansas if you can. And like I said, you got to have Robert Wright step up. Jalen Celestine needs to step up. Really, and if you need Jason Asamoah to play, he needs to step up. And like I said, I don't know about Langston Love playing this game. If he can play some minutes, fine. He definitely needs to step up if he's going to play, but I don't know how many minutes. That's the key thing. And obviously, you need to have Joshua Tuwuna play like he did in the second half of last game and bring it to all this game. He had 10 points and 6 rebounds. Granted, I would like to see some blocks, but he had 3 steals. And no Chad Omier did good. I mean, 15 points and 9 rebounds. And hopefully he gets more points in this game. He's not as efficient, like 5 for 12. And hopefully he can make some threes. And J.J. Edgecombe, just put that last game behind you with 4 points and 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks, and 3 turnovers. And play a lot better in this game. I anticipate him playing a lot better. I would think so. And Jay Nunn needs to be a little bit better. I mean, too. And same thing goes for Jimmy Roach. And like I said, if just Giannis Jonga going to even play or not, I don't know. But if he does, he does. And Marino, if he needs to play, he needs to step up in his limited role and make adjustments on the fly throughout the game. Not just from first half and second half, but during those halves. And especially like possession by possession. And if it's a tight game, you got to find a way to get some stops, to get some scores. Don't have so many scoring droughts. And if you are down, try to climb back in it, and try to get continually more stops. And really in that Gonzaga game, to be honest, they got down to 13 points in the second half, but then Gonzaga made a push and put the game away. Don't allow that to happen again. Simply put, in let's not put ourselves in that situation to begin with. I mean, just telling the truth. And you got to play ticked off in this game. And I know John Calipari said, look, this team is coming off an embarrassing loss. That's going to be a tough they're going to give us everything. That's what practically he said when you look at the article that he said in the press conference after the game. So he knows this team is better than what they showed against Gonzaga. And I know they are too. And it's game number 1. You return not a lot of guys to begin with. And this is definitely a better matchup, in my opinion, than the Gonzaga game. Let's go out there, give it our best shot, and let's make this a whole lot more competitive. And, of course, outright win it. I would take that. And if you want to know about there's no spread on the game right now. There isn't. But the matchup predictor does say on ESPN, Baylor 62.3% to Arkansas 37.7%. But you can't take anything for granted. And I really fully expect this team to play a lot better than they did last game. And I know one thing. You got to shoot the ball from 3 a lot better. And if it's not going down, you got to get to the rim. Get to mid-range. Get to the free throw line. Get some easies. Of course, you want to try to make it tough for them as much as possible in defense. So let's go out there. And don't be intimidated by this team at all. And show them who's boss without getting like a technical foul. And avoid technical fouls. Obviously, you don't want to commit like silly fouls at that. And you got to be smart with it. And keep your cool after every whistle. And don't get yourself to the point of being in a situation where, oh no, they got in my head. And I lost my temper. I lost my cool. I got a tech. We don't want to do that. And let's try to take away the Arkansas fans out of this game as much as possible. I know they will travel. I know they will. And I know Baylor fans will be there too, but you get the whole point about this. And we gotta do like get some better looks, like with the you don't have like illegal screens or live ball. You don't want to really have live ball turnovers because that would really hurt your chances on defense. I mean, obviously, like dead ball turnovers, I don't want either, but it's better than live ball. And you try to get those turnovers down to like below 11 a game or 10 a game. That'd be obvious. And obviously, forcing more turnovers and getting like, I don't know, to close to 20 as much as possible in the turnovers will really help in this game. And if you're up late, you got to make your free throws count. I mean, and get the ball in, whether it's side out or underneath, or even underneath your own basket. I mean, that's the true thing about it is. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 7 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. Some money out there. Of course, like a video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm so more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, and hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. And let's go out there, go to work, give it our best shot.